Hi, chat. What are you looking at here, camera? Why aren't you following me here? Let's see here. Oh, silly camera. You can see me. Why aren't you following me? There we go. Hi, chat. How we doing tonight? Happy Monday to you. Hopefully it's been a good one. We're doing soup again, but a little bit different. We'll see. It's almost like it's a side dish tonight. Where do we start with things? Coffee. But of course, this is why we do coffee at the beginning, because I don't know, head from tails right now. We're starting the stream. Hi! Welcome in, Will. Happy to see you, Nan Reader. Still keep forgetting the sugar in the raw. Welcome, Will. Welcome, Head of Broccoli. Hello, they can see me. It's such a pleasant swirl. I'm just letting it go. Like, often it gets too muddy. We're getting there now, but welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. Cheers. Okay, we're starting with apricots. We're going to make our dried apricots happy. And so I'm explicitly trying to pack these in here nice and tight. Just because I don't want to waste a ton of liquid. Still got a little left. We'll let those hang out with that and make friends together. A little dried apricot and a little brandy. Next, we're going to turn over to dealing with our chicken. We need to prep all of our chicken. I didn't really think about it, but the sale I got on today's chicken was not all that much of a sale. I paid about as much for these 2 chicken breasts today as I did for the chicken. Yesterday. It's going out tomorrow. And so, how I'm planning on doing things here tonight is we are going to fillet these out quite a bit. Nice head of broccoli. I'm not familiar with the eggplants. I've not tried to grow them at all myself. I'm smelling the brandy now. It's actually overpowering the smell of... Not the chicken is really all that strong smelling, but it's definitely overpowering the chicken. Do I want to do... Let's do these one at a time, and I'm realizing that I don't have the cheese prepped. So we'll move this off, I'll clean my hands, and we're going to grate some Gouda. Is there any special characteristics to the Black Knight that makes them amazing? Or different, or unique, or... Are they one of the big eggplants? Are they one of the original style eggplants where they look like a little egg? Does chat know that? Chat, do you know that eggplant is called eggplant, because there's a fair number of varieties of eggplant where they're just small little white orbs that look like eggs. I don't know how much we really need to take off of this. And this wax isn't really coming off very easily, so I think I might just leave that on. Oh, if we can get it, I'll peel it off. Let's see, that's almost enough right there. What's worse, chat? Typos or autocorrect? Autocorrect failures, I guess, but I mean, autocorrect by itself is sort of amazing, but I sort of feel like autocorrect in some ways has gotten a lot worse too, because like now it'll like change complete phrases and like completely change things. Like the AI told us that's what you really meant. No. Salami. At this point, I sort of feel like everyone is sort of dyslexic in some form, and it's really just a larger scale that we want to narrow down, like a lot of other things that shouldn't be. Us humans want to make everything simple and repeatable and uniform when nothing is. And then we roll. We be rolling, chat. See? It's like we didn't do anything at all. It's still original chicken breast, right, chat? See, perfect amount of cheese. I totally didn't pack this one with almost twice as much as that one. Still smells like brandy. Very end here, I'm very much trying to make sure that there is a bit of chicken on chicken action here. That way it hopefully seals while cooking without too much leakage. Alright, so we'll pull this away for the moment. And we need somewhere we need to dunk those. Set up here. Welcome, Witheray. So we need... Let's do egg and dairy. Because eggs just... Wow. Eeny meeny, where's my other whisk at? Hey, Alex. An egg per chicken breast. Those are extra large eggs, too. Delicious. I've still got half of it in the fridge. I haven't... Next steps here. Do I really want to get going with the chicken this far yet? I don't think so, but I do want to season these since I have these here. And they're easily available to have that done. Hey, Shinavision. Welcome, welcome. For those unfamiliar, we are streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, so I'm saying hello to people on both platforms. Paprika. Paprika, or cayenne. Mustard powder. We can do a little of that. A little cumin. Garlic. Onion. Oregano. The oregano I'm supposed to be using up and never grab because it's in the back, but it's the only place you can sort of safely store this container without it getting crushed. Thyme. We'll let those hang out over there. Keep looking over there for silverware, because why grab something I bothered putting away if I can get it from the sink, and there's no silverware in the sink tonight. And give these a turn around in our brandy. I didn't feel like bothering. Dried fruits, they're often pretty gummy and sort of hard to break down unless you have to. They're going to get blended. So... Oh, am I giving away how I'm dealing with things tonight? Hey, Trigger. How you been? We're working on some soup tonight and chicken. It's chicken week. I forget who, but someone says that I have to do chicken all week for food. Good, other than I keep throwing onion on the floor. Blending it. Hi, JK. Going light on the garlic in the soup tonight. Hey, Jean-Ray. So warming up a pan here with some oil, get started with our veggie sauteing. We've already got our chicken stuffed. We've got our breading set up for the stuffing. Just getting started with the soup parts. We got apricots steeping in brandy, onions and garlic on the cutting board, some parsnips on the counter ready to be dealt with next. Again, pretty rough on the chopping here because this is all going in the blender. Not too much trigger. Much the same old, same old. Still making delicious food and keeping my streaming schedule. Yeah. Wish I could say there's more new, but I've been working on a lot of stuff, but nothing really to announce. Unfortunately. Oh yeah, they're much too fibrous without it. Parsnip puree is amazing, but it's a pain in the butt to make. I imagine that's ones that's fallen off of menus these days. Just because, you know, it was primarily in restaurants because it took a person sitting there forcing it through a colander or some sort of sieve. This is honestly a bit more color than I wanted to get on these. I just sort of wanted to sweat everything. The soup is intended to be somewhat of a lighter colored soup. And you can just see the center of that. It's like delicious, but fiber filled. Added a bit of water there to switch them to steaming rather than so much browning. Adding all the garlic in there. Bit more oil. And an ad break. Parsnips going in, ad break or not. We'll hit all of this loveliness. Bit of salt. Something's got, I don't know if it was the wine last night or my head has, I haven't been in full-blown headache mode where, like, things need to just stop, but all day my head's been sort of like, no. When I was a kid and young teenager, I used to get really serious headaches that would, like, give me a towel, put over my eyes, and just let me sit. Leave me alone. Thankfully, it's been a long time since I've been getting those. Over on the right side of the stove, I'm heating up a small pan of water that I'm going to use to cook my couscous. I missed the hydration sound, and my overlays are partially messed up, so I have to manually do that. It's... Yeah, I need SprinkleBot to work just so I can just, like, I've been procrastinating on things because I've been focusing on SprinkleBot. And we're not going to do a ton of couscous in tonight's dish. What got all over you? Chicken stock ice cube. Hi, M1. Have I worked with any fun ingredients lately? I had... Actually, I still have the box here in the recycling. An ingredient challenge the other night. That was a little bit... It's looking like we're going to have avocado for Wednesday. I haven't closed off the vote yet tonight, but last I looked, avocado had a commanding lead over cotton candy. I don't know if I've had avocado ice cream. I've had olive oil ice cream, which I would make the assumption somewhat close. Welcome, Raiders. Hi, everyone. I'm Chef JT. I cook here on Twitch 4 nights a week. We're doing... I don't know, tonight's dinner is a little hard to explain in a quick message, but we're doing stuffed chicken with soup. And we've got a dog outside barking somewhere. Thank you, Jovian. Much appreciate the raid. Thank you for sharing your community with us. We've got our breading set up. And seasoned. We've got our eggs and dairy sitting for coating. We've got our chicken breasts that I have stuffed with Gouda and peppered salami. And then over on the stove, we have onions, garlic, parsnips, and a chunk of homemade chicken stock that I freeze and bag. or bag and freeze. Be sort of hard to freeze and then bag. Stuffed crust hoisin duck pizza with pizza salad and quick pickles. Pizza salad sounds interesting. Like, I like some spicy meats and stuff like that in with my greens every now and then. That sounds like pepperoni with greens. That could work. I haven't heard of it before, but hopefully it turned out amazing. Hoisin duck pizza. Going CPK route. Nice, Trigger. Yeah, I'm sure avocado would probably make a pretty decent ice cream. Like, I wouldn't expect it to be... Like, you would have to be one of those ice creams you're in the mood for that, or something a little different, or along the lines of, like I said, I've had an olive oil ice cream. But I'm sure it's probably delicious. I've also said that I'm not the avocado nut that could sit there and just eat an avocado alone by itself. But that's mostly a texture, like, eating, it almost feels like it's like eating straight butter to me. But if we're talking interesting ice cream flavors that I think people should try, you gotta have Guinness ice cream. Like, even if you don't like Guinness, I think more people will like Guinness ice cream than would like Guinness. If you think about all of those heavy flavors just sort of being lightened and enriched with the fattiness of the cream. Nice head of broccoli. We're mostly just waiting until this block of ice here melts. We're gonna blend everything that's in here into a smooth puree. And then we're gonna add the pasta back in for a little bit of texture in the soup. The big one around here that the ice cream shops around here like doing in season is lavender. And I don't know if I'm that much of a lavender fan that I could dig lavender ice cream. I haven't tried it yet. Welcome, Blazer. I've not tried Angostura ice cream. That's an interesting thought. I make the assumption you're talking of Angostura. Bitters ice cream might be an interesting play. Now you got me thinking of the other things in here, like... I've tried bourbon ice cream, and that's not all that exotic. But maybe... Oh, I don't know. Something more like this. Or... maybe some of this. We're in the general San Francisco area, so I mean I gotta show this just to represent. Any of those sound intriguing to me as ice creams. Because it would be a situation where they're opened up. Like, the way that I will drink Fernet is shot glass of Fernet, sidecar of ginger ale. Because you can take a sip of that, and it's like taking straight old school medicine. It's hugely herbal. And then you take that ginger ale, and it just explodes into so many flavors in your mouth. The problem with that one is most bars' ginger ales are absolute junk. Like, bar ginger ale has to be the worst of the bar sodas. Like, you know, bars typically buy the cheaper off-brand flavors. They're not even bothering paying for Coke. It really irks me too, because like ginger ale has to be like my favorite mixer in you know, typical well bar, you know, like not fancy drinks, but everyday cheap drinks, mixed drinks, that sort of stuff. Ginger ale is in like everything I love. Love bourbon and ginger ale. Love gin and ginger ale. Yeah, most ginger beers suck. I mean, they're okay on their own if you want to drink a beer or if you want to make a bubbly drink or something like that, but I don't think of them as the same. Like, they're both ginger. But I think of them as, like, it's almost like comparing syrup to carbonated drink, or syrup to sparkling water. The alcohol just, I think, thins it out. Do a half cup of pasta in there. I'm going in on the other side there. You will also be unable to convince me that there is any ginger ale better than Werner's. Well, okay, if you want to get into, like, artisan stuff. Let's not compare that. But I mean, of the stuff you're going to find in a typical supermarket, Werner's is the best. I don't care if they're all made by the same company these days. Werner's is the best. Thanks for hanging out with us, Trigger. I hope you have a lucky evening. May the rolls be in your favor, because I don't know how else to wish you luck in the world of D&D. Oh hey, we want to try and boil over here. That's not what I want. It's trying to boil over on me while you aren't looking, chat. The camera hates that image, by the way. Camera hates it even more now. Coffee's hydration, right, chat? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I need to turn it back off. Okay. Turn the heat off on that and just let those coast. We're good here. I'm going to turn the heat off on this. Let this cool down a little bit before we blend it. It's almost like a little mini lava lamp, how those pastas just sort of occasionally bubble up. What type of couscous are you used to? This is what I know as either pearl or Israeli couscous, which is actually, yeah, it's like a formed almost like pearl pasta. The original or the OG one is a much lighter, fluffier, like almost more closer to rice than pasta, even though it's made from the ingredients you would make pasta from. Fluffy kind is great too. I like that too. Is this all gonna fit into this container, or do I have to get the big one out, chat? I think we're gonna try and fit it into this one. Let's strain the pasta out. And butter is mostly just to keep it from sticking too much here while we're making the rest of the soup. Yeah, sorry for bumping the camera. And then apricots and brandy. It's been sitting here soaking. And I didn't mean to pause the music, but that happened. And time to mute for the blender. Yeah. Is that gonna work for me tonight? Nope, of course not. Hi, chat. So now we got a nice, smooth soup there. We're gonna make sure and puree. Make sure this is pureed. Nope, we're just getting the other one dirty. And that's how you know you properly pureed those parsnips. And then we add our pasta into this. It's like a dish that you could serve, other than the fried chicken part here. This is a dish that, you know, you could serve at like a white party. You know, one of those parties where everything's white and everyone dresses in white and there's nothing but white counters everywhere and people throw their stuff into the soup. I think that needs a bunch of salt. So just adding a little bit of texture to our light, creamy soup. We'll bring this over on the stove just to keep it warm while we do everything else. And quick clean up the cast iron here, just to get it out of the way. Chicken Alfredo. Currently strongly debating a couple of toothpicks here. No problem, M1. I think we're going to do a couple of toothpicks here, chat. I sort of half feel like toothpicks is cheating, and I hate doing it as a how to do things because people forget and leave them in. Don't forget and leave toothpicks in your food and serve it to someone, please. For if anyone is in chat and curious why I am doing a chicken week, if you hang out long enough and get 7,500 sprinkles, exclamation mark sprinkles, you can use channel points to recommend a weekly theme. So this week's weekly theme is Chicken Week, and someone has submitted Eggplant Week for next week. Hi, Ozzy. Okay, so now that this is secured with lots of wood, there are limits to my budget with themes. What are the toothpicks for, Laura? I have already heavily cut and filled these. These are stuffed with a combination of Gouda cheese and peppered salami, and then we're coating them and frying them. So over on the stove here, which I'm sorry for leaving that on the main screen this whole time. Oh, hey, we need heat on the oil in order to heat it up. That would help. The oil's not going to get hot without a flame underneath it. Did I turn the music off again? I did. Cold oil week sounds like a lot of pickled things and like fish cured in oil and thank you for the follows. I missed those earlier. I apologize for that. I'm not hearing alerts in my ear. Are we hearing alerts in chat? Or is everything messed up with the bot tonight? I'm just now realizing this. Let's see here. Services. Are you connected to OBS? You say you are. Yep, Laura. I'm not even hearing the clapping tonight, so I'm glad that you guys are. Earbud. I try and hide it somewhat, but I go Michael Jackson style with the earbuds while streaming in the kitchen because I also want to hear real time what's going on in the kitchen, you know, like what's going on with the stove or stuff like that. Everything else from the stream and all that is slightly delayed in my ear. I've sort of gotten used to the whole hearing myself back in my ear. I don't think my cadence is messed up by that so much as it used to be. It used to be I would say something and then wait to hear myself before I continue talking. And I don't think I do that nearly as much as I used to. If only this oil was ready to fry, we'd have some sizzling sounds. But alas, we need another 150 degrees. $150 Fahrenheit still to go. Don't give me any of that Celsius stuff here. It's even worse that I don't even know what the equivalent of comparisons would be with kelvins. But the hill I am going to die on is that even though I know scientifically, scientists, Celsius makes more sense, real life Fahrenheit makes a heck of a lot more sense. Like, Celsius is like 25 to 35 outside all day, all year long sort of a thing. Whereas, Fahrenheit, it's 30 to 100. It gives you a little bit closer idea of, is it freezing out or is it a sunny 70-degree day? No, Laura, it's the scale is extended on Fahrenheit, so there's a much wider range of options between point A and B. At least in the temperatures that I care about, It's not like I'm doing some, worried about compressing diamonds or something like that. Yeah, I had it broccoli. That's the major thing is the temperature thing outside. Like, it's 30 degrees all the time. But at the same time, I totally get that the rest of the American standards are absolutely nuts. How many people in chat realize that there are two measurements for the foot in the US? You have the 12-inch foot that just about everyone talks about and knows about and thinks about. And then you have another one that's ever so slightly off in terms of, like something the size of a football field. Or what I've understood is in architectural plans, the difference between two has caused floors to be deleted from plans, from skyscrapers and stuff like that. It's caused bridges not to reach as far as they were intended to. Things like that. There's actually two different measurements for a foot. Yeah, I'm one. We could drive the metric people even more nuts if we point out the fact, or if I point out the fact, that all of the American standards today are based off of metric standards. So the US quite seriously has the same like kilogram weight measure that they use to standardize the metric system as all the others, and then we convert it back to our feet or our pounds. It's right on if it's water, if it's actual water. Like water can be, there can be other things in the water and people still call it water, but actual water, that is what, yeah. Oh, we got people that hate mixing up between these two? Alright, going in with our first chicken breast. Hey, Famoose. Welcome in. Probably should cook the oven on here. Because we are probably going to have to finish these in the oven. We'll just seal them and get some nice color on them before we throw them in the oven. Paper towel here and a half hotel pan to absorb as that comes out. I hope you didn't waste a ton of money on your kitchen scale. But I hope you like it too. The reason I say I hope you didn't waste a lot of money on your kitchen scale is because unless you're getting like scientific grade equipment, you're basically using the same sensor in the nice ones as the cheap ones. So like they can make things that make the scale itself nicer in its design, but like it's not any more accurate. Give this another flip here. Hi, Laura. Alright, we're going to finish this in the oven. No, we're going to give that a little bit longer on that side. Nice, broccoli. See that little bit of cheese ooze? Let's double check our temp before I throw that in there. See how much we lost from that first one. We're doing relatively okay there. Let me give this a little bit of a stir up.
Yep, broccoli. Like, people who watched my souffle recipe the other night, or several instances of my baking lately, I've just been sort of like, yep, that's enough in there. That'll work. Like, I actually think I turned a couple of people off on souffle night with how much I was like, it doesn't matter, it'll be fine. Once you get down to understanding the science and, okay, we're making an egg foam here and I can't do this, this, or this to really disturb it. Otherwise, it's going to be delicious. Yeah. Ugly delicious is a thing. I mean, we eat with our eyes, so everything people are going to try and sell you is going to look delicious. But things don't have to look delicious to be delicious. Or most British food. Fine salt over the top of both of those. And that's going in the oven. It's still preheating, but it's set to 350. Heat's off on that as much. I think there's a lot of truth to the whole white people don't know how to season their food sort of thing. Looking at most families in the 80s, 90s, and maybe noughties. And then we started learning and started liking things like getting into all the other Asian cuisines, and we're getting much more into that now, into actual. I think it's an education thing too. I mean, it took, people learning the spice mixes and then realizing they were getting ripped off by buying the spice mixes to learn all the different spices. And while, yes, the French are amazing when it comes to food, as are the Italians. But let's be honest, you stole all of it from Asia. I'll give the fork to the Italians. I would say American Italian food is tomato sauce and cheese. I would say tomatoes are a relatively new thing in cuisine. And it was one of, like many things in cuisines, they have their basis in poverty. It's sort of interesting how many things are, created by poverty and then adopted by the rich. You have the king's label. You have of course, our current generation is just screwed. Like the last... Yeah, let's not doom and gloom. Absolutely am one. And you look at a lot of, the, trotters and stuff like that, and offal and foie gras and yep. And last I read, scientists aren't 100% sure still why tomatoes aren't poisonous to us. I sort of think lobster's a dirty crustacean now. I like lobster meat and crab meat, but when I'm eating them and when I'm taking them apart, I'm like, this is an ocean bug. It's right there with crickets. Tastes better than crickets, but I put them right about in the same scale. It's just a big cricket, and it lives in the water. The only thing that makes shrimp less that way is how they have that nice big lump of meat in the tail that's easy to remove. You can forget about the rest of it. Well, France also eradicated the ortolan, for the most part. Someone want to send me an ortolan? I'll cover my head with a napkin while eating it on stream. Ortolan, it was sort of made much more public recently by Billions, the TV series, but it's a forbidden dish. It's illegal in Europe, I believe, at least in France. It's a small songbird that is drowned in alcohol. I forget which alcohol in particular. With a very long production. And you eat it whole, bones, beak, and all. And as part of the ritual, you put a napkin over your head to shield yourself from the eyes of God. And there's a whole thing with it. Yeah, you'll notice that I've been doing more seafood, but I haven't been doing... Like, I'm not a big mussels. I'll do oysters every once in a while, but that's sort of like a thing. And I'm not going to do that at home. Scallops are about the best of all of them. But they're no really cleaner, they're just easier. I don't know that I would say that. I've maybe seen versions of it that looked palatable. I mean, we're talking about something that is prepared. By me saying that, not physically, I have not in person seen, but I've seen enough videos, I've seen enough examples where I was like, yeah, that's sort of risque, but I'd give that a shot. That looks decent. Yeah, that's the other major thing with, like, We're basically fishing everything up out of the ocean and saying, hey, that looks like that fish, we'll call it that. Quite seriously. And by uneducated fishermen out in the middle of the ocean, what you're getting saying that fish is, the good chance that it's not. Like, there's been studies by major newspapers, saying all these different fish are not the fish that they're being sold as. It's sort of one of those, every couple years you see one of those, enraging people. How long am I cooking this chicken? I didn't set a timer on it. Do want to make sure that it's cooked through here. Let's give this a shot. I calibrated this not too long ago, so I'm going to trust it. You're looking a little thicker here. I don't think you're done. Yeah, you're not done. Only about 120 there, so we're going to give these a little bit longer. Like, just the very fact that by law here in the US, if you're selling bivalves, they have a tag that comes with them. And you have to keep it for 60 days in case someone gets sick to prove where you got it from. Like, it's the only thing that I can think off of the top of my head that you buy, and you need to do that here in the US. Turn the heat on the soup here to warm that up a little bit. We're going to give these another 5 minutes in the oven at 350 until we give them another test. Yeah, I sort of like the look of that in the soup. The sort of like pearls. If anyone drank Orbits back in the day, this is giving me Orbits feels. Orbits, the microplastic drink. For anyone unfamiliar with Orbits, it was a drink with these little spheres that were suspended in the same. It was pourable drink, but they had somehow matched the orbs to the viscosity of the liquid that they held position. But they actually had microplastics in the back in the day. Most anything in food that's glitter is plastic. Which, that's apparently what they make classified. But most people have sort of figured out that apparently that they shoot out the back of planes and stuff like that to confuse other missiles and stuff tracking them. That flak stuff is glitter. And so, like, and it's sort of like common practice for planes refueling in the military as a sort of thank you to shoot some of that off every once in a while when they get finished refueling. And we're just spreading plastic all over the world. The texture is different on both of them. They're both more watery, sort of like. It's a little bit more like comparing a watermelon to an apple, sort of a thing. It's but otherwise, yeah, they're both pretty similar to chicken. I've had frog legs several times, I've had frog legs more than once in a convention. I've had alligator more than once in a convention, too. But, I've had frog legs in a restaurant, I think more than one occasion. Never made it. Don't have any desire to. Don't even know where I would get my hands on them around here in a legal sense. Like, yeah, we could capture frogs, but no thank you. Not Master Frog Hunter. I do hear them out in my yard every now and then, though. I used to have a couple of tires rotting in my yard for a while there. I had the fantasy I was going to turn them into a planter at one point, but there was a frog that was living in those at one point. But I'm not big on frog legs either because they're... Frog legs are a bit like chicken wings, but worse. So if you absolutely love chicken wings, you might give frog legs a try, but... Iguana you might find in Florida. Still not there. That only got us about 5 degrees hotter. The carryover, we're maybe 130, 135-ish there. We need a little more time in that oven. Alligator is just a matter of getting it chipped up. Iguana, same thing. Iguanas are sort of being apparently a evasive issue in Florida, and so they're trying to promote people eating iguana meat. Alligator, I think, is much more of they're not really farming that much alligator, and so it's sort of like a lot of other wild game. It's what the hunters produce. I would assume it's already been broken up, head of broccoli. Well, that's a score because it would probably cost them a fortune to get it there. Depends on the state, Jovian. Some states it's an actual thing, other states it's not at all. But that actually happened to me not too long ago in the supermarket, and it royally irritated me. Like, not so much that they went and got the proper price for it, that's fine. It's the amount of time and the amount of people that they got involved to do it. Like, I know you can do minimum wage for retail lower than this, but if you do the math on McDonald's labor costs these days, it's 33 cents a minute per person in that store. And so, if you're costing an employee a minute of their time, you're taking 33 cents out of your profits to do it. And they got at least 2 or 3 people involved to figure out this price, and it took several minutes. And, the manager mind is like, just don't care, just get them out the door, because you're getting money for it. Well, not manage it, yeah. Former business owner mentality. You're just blowing all my money trying to be perfect about it, just go. I also made that same argument, trying to ban and control things about plastics and the banning cups from coffee people and stuff like that around here. They've sort of given up that fight since COVID. I'm talking pre-COVID here, where I did the math out and was like, the cost and difference here of having to clean someone's reusable glass, you're costing me so much money to do coffee that it's at this point I'm pretty much predicting this to be usable, but we're going to test it again just to be sure. We're mostly there. It's just... If it was beef, we'd be fine. But it's chicken. And it's chicken that... It's chicken that I'm worried I got a deal on because it's not the greatest chicken. Even though the deal wasn't that great, it's giving me that mentality like, yeah, we're trying to make this go. And so yes, I'm giving that another 5 minutes. Does everyone know the trick to cutting open pomegranates and just getting nothing but beautiful seeds? Or one of you, or are we all the tapping people? I'm not big on seeking out discount chicken, but when it's sitting there and you give me... I usually go for the Rocky and Rosie's, you know, free range, organic. But, yeah, you put it... Yeah. It's getting hot in here with this oven, though. I'm starting to sweat. Not even doing anything tonight. I honestly don't remember the proper way to do it, but there is a way that you can score the skin in the right locations and basically peel it apart almost like it's an orange and just have all the seeds there presented without any of the paper connective stuff in between them or anything like that. It's the people at the farmers markets do it, which is why I know it. Shows off all those beautiful bright red seeds. Oh right, that's you were saying as a kid. Yeah. Exactly, Jovius Juvian. Like, yeah, just give him a break and keep it going. You're causing me to go against the normal flow of things. It's costing me money. Opening the window, getting too hot. That'd be an impressive tool there. Because, you know, like, pomegranates have some serious seeds to them. So to actually get the juice away from all of those seeds, yeah, that's a toughie. Like, certainly in the proper juicer, no question. But, you know, like, still in the wrapper, yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, speaking of gadgets like that, Amazon keeps trying to get me to buy this, like, battery-powered cooking mat. And I just look at that thing and I'm like, okay, that's going to get some things warm, that's not going to cook anything. And you're going to be lucky if it gets things really warm. Like, if you think about battery-powered things, they're barely able to boil things. The idea that I'm going to roll out them, and they show the mat, probably in a perspective, it's probably about the size of my cutting board, but at the same time, it looks like it's larger, is what I'm saying. And, like I could see it being used, like I'm saying, it could be used as like a warmer or something like that if you're bringing hot things and want to keep them warm for like a picnic or something like that. But they're trying to sell it like you're going to cook your meal out there in the middle of a field. Alright, let's try this again. I'm tempted to just trust it at this point with the amount of time I've given it, though. There, we're at least getting 160. And the thicker part here is still not quite there. Yep. Going back in the oven, chat. I want to trust it with the time I've cooked it, but I also don't like being sick. So let's see what's going on. Let's do a little of an AFK here, chat. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll do a couple ads. We'll run the ads for people that unfortunately have to view them. for Twitch's sake. And we'll wrap up dinner when we come back from the break. That'll give us another couple of minutes to cook those all the way through and make sure they're fully cooked. See you folks in a few.
Recognize this mouse guitar? It's just like the one the Mouseketeers gave me. And now Mattel toy makers, the people who made my mouse guitar, have a big surprise for you. You can have your very own mouse guitar just like mine. And look, I wrote out all the instructions so you can learn to play the songs we play on the show. Remember, gang, you can now get the mouse guitar wherever toys are sold for only $4. Hey, I almost forgot. Be sure to see the Mouseketeer Junior, too. Just turn the crank and it plays the Mouseketeer theme song. The Mouseketeer Junior is only $1.80. Be sure to look for this label, gang. You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Off into space. Man, that takes real teamwork. And here's a team of junior spacemen with an out-of-this-world breakfast that teams up V8 juice and Cheerios for flavor and energy. What a treat! A flavorful glassful of refreshing V8 juice and Cheerios with power protein, plus vitamin B1 for Go Power. And now, here's a special out-of-this-world free offer. This Moon Rocket Kit, both a toy and an exciting game. First, blast off. It separates in midair and lands 2 spacemen on a moon map. You get this wonderful game only through this free offer. Send your name and address and 1 V8 label plus 1 box top from these specially marked packages of Cheerios, Kix, or Frostios to Moon Rocket Kit, Mount Vernon 10, New York. Get Campbell's V8 cocktail vegetable juice with any one of these Big G cereals.
Hey, new Kellogg's Okays. Note the improvement? They put a bear on the box, which improved it so much, they decided to improve the cereal, too.
Oh, come on, Yogi. Let's be serious about Kellogg's new Okays, okay?
Like the Space Bears say, hey, okay.
Well, first, how nutritious are Kellogg's new Okays? Well, they're made from oats. And of all grains, oats are the richest in proteins and rich in other bodybuilding essentials, too. In fact, some people consider it their duty to eat oats. Yogi. But now, with a really delicious oat cereal like Kellogg's Okays around, people can have their oats and enjoy them, too. Especially Kellogg's new Okays. For Kellogg's new Okays are crispier... cripsier and toastier, and therefore tastier than ever. So for the best in oats, get Kellogg's new Okays.
The one with the bear on the box. Suitable for Freeman.
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy-style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it there. All right, now, as you look at that, don't want you to leave me, because I want to show you something, believe it or not, that a lot of people like even better. Suppose we were to take some fresh roasted peanuts here, and like Mary Ellen has been doing all evening, and putting them in a nut chopper here. Give a couple more little chugs, will you, please? Mm-hmm. I think that'll do it just fine. Now you find in there some just tiny little golden nuggets of roasted peanuts, and they are colossal. Now, I want to try something here. Suppose we were to take these, now let me try an experiment, do you mind, honey? And we'd sprinkle them over the creamy-style Skippy. Say, how is that, huh?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. All I did that for was to tell you that you can get that and enjoy it anytime you want. You won't have to go through any chopping process either, because the Skippy people do that for you in chunk style. That's done for you up in the factory. Now, chunk style, you see, has sprinkled all through it very generously through the entire jar those golden little nuggets that you saw there, just about like that. So that's already done for you there. Now, of course, either style, whether it's cream or chunky, if you get Skippy, you are getting the peanut butter that stays fresh right down to the last spoonful in the jar. And so I make it very simple again. I want you to know that this is an honest fact.
If you like peanuts, you'll like Skippy.
She's up. Come in ideal countdown control. Ready for second launching.
Atlas moving into position.
Fuel her up.
All set.
Countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! There she goes!
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip that's so good to serve with king-size Fritos corn chips. Just follow the recipe right on the Fritos package. Of course, it calls for the famous Philadelphia brand cream cheese, an 8-ounce package, which we blended with 2 tablespoons of milk till it's nice and smooth, like so. Then come 2 tablespoons of Kraft cream-style horseradish for zesty flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and finally, a dash of salt. And we'll blend our Philly mixture again. And when party time comes, let the folks enjoy this wonderful Philly horseradish dip with crisp king-size Fritos. There are those busy hands. Just remember, you make the best-tasting dips with the freshest-tasting cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand cream cheese, made only by Kraft.
There's no other box of facial tissues like this. Scotty's new Magic Oval box. Only Scotty's give you tissues that float up gently, one at a time, and come out in neat handfuls, too, because there's a Magic Oval inside every new Scotty's box. Only Scotty's Magic Oval can give you tissues that float up, smooth and easy. No tugging, no tearing, no extra tissues tagging along. And Scotty's Magic Oval does even more. It lets you reach in for tissues by the handful, all neatly folded, just right for pocket or purse. Scotty's new Magic Oval box is pretty, too. And inside, soft, strong, sneeze-proof Scotty's. Remember, for tissues that float up smoothly and come out in neatly folded handfuls, look for Scotty's pretty new Magic Oval box, the only one of its kind.
Welcome back. Why are you looking in the trash? What's so exciting in the trash? But China, why you want to know what's in my trash? Then again, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's CIA. But then again, they're not supposed to study Americans. Music. We need music back. Let's go with these chicken. Is there one that I'm missing here somewhere? I thought I put more into these. Oh well. I know I did into this one. This one's... Yep. Or when I slice it. Because yes, I am going to try and slice these. That looks cooked through to me. That's looking pretty good. Who's down for some of that? That looks delicious. Yeah, broccoli. And so now we've got our parsnip soup with apricot, brandy, and pearl couscous. Give it that sort of pearl effect. And then I'm going to layer this deliciousness right on top of that. That's looking pretty good, chat. Now, crawfish, people quite seriously call them mud bugs. Should I have gone with this? It almost looks like it's mashed potatoes, or, I mean, it's not too far from a parsnip puree, so it's just a looser parsnip puree. Yeah, I had a broccoli. I actually put crawfish, despite them being called mud bugs and knowing how they live, and how they are raised. They're sort of on the same there with shrimp. I actually would elevate them above crab. Gotta suck the head. But I think that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. Let's at least give the soup a try and everything so everyone knows how I think about it. It's an interesting combo. I like the parsnip. I like the apricot and the fruit bringing it up. I don't know if it necessarily works with the garlic and the onion. We might have mixed that up a little bit, but otherwise, deliciousness. It's little pearl pastas or pearl couscous. Doing wonders with that. For some texture and it's falling apart. Goes great with the chicken. And the salami. Wow. That was a combo that is working much better than I expected. I sort of came up with this on the fly, by the way, chat. Very happy with that. That's going to be delicious. However, it is that time. We're going to leave it there, folks. I do need to check here and confirm for chat. Avocado has won this week's ingredient challenge. And so for Wednesday, I will be cooking dinner and dessert using avocado. So avocado dessert on Wednesday, chat. Till then, I hope you all have a great week and a great evening. Good night.